let me
I guess.
hit record. Jesse's running tech. He's a ruckus maker over there. He might be muting you from time to time. There is opportunities to come off mute and to discuss, which is completely appropriate. We're going to have some breakout rooms, and it's going to be super fun. So I have an amazing expert leadership panel here tonight talking about the future of education. One word that describes future of education, I'll do a short riff, which will be then to breakout rooms where you'll discuss a provocative question that they're going to offer you. So thank you for showing up to the book launch party. And we're obviously here to celebrate, the launch of the new book as well. So it's been a lot of work, put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in my heart into it, and just excited for it to be here. If you pre-order, just so you know, because of COVID, it got delayed a week and a half. So it'll come out a week from tomorrow on October 8th, and then it'll start to ship. So if you've been saying or sending me, I've seen the nasty emails. Where's my book? All right, they are on the way. I promise you, they are coming. So that's a bit of how the event will work. In between the expert riff breakout discussion, we'll do some raffles, right? So we'll have book bundles. We'll have BLBS swag. We're going to have even Mastermind membership giveaways. So stay tuned for that. That'll be announced after every discussion. So I would like to introduce the first speaker. Actually, before I do, Jesse, if you could throw in the chat. Today, I launched a new page on my website that's relevant to our discussion because it's about the book. And if you order the book through my website, there are some bonuses that you're eligible for. So some pretty cool things too. If you've already pre-ordered, just send me a picture of the pre-order like receipt or whatever, and then I'll make sure you get the bonuses. We're gonna take care of you. So we're good with that. Let me turn on live transcription too, if that is helpful for you. And yeah, so my first expert speaker, friend, colleague, Dr. Sheldon Akins, and super excited for him to share tonight. He is an accomplished K-12 educator and administrator. He's also the founder of the Leading Equity Center, which is an amazing work that he's putting out into the world, and a great podcast as well. He's taught at the elementary, middle, and high school levels during his career in the states of Florida, Louisiana, and in St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. Dr. Akins also served several years as a school principal in the states of Louisiana and Oregon. Dr. Akins, welcome to the book launch party. The 3 minutes next are yours to riff on the future in education and whatever your word you're thinking about is.
All right, thank you, Danny. Always a pleasure to be able to talk to you. And man, I always tell folks, Danny is the reason why I became Danny and Jethro actually are the reasons why I became a podcaster. I went to your podcast one-on-one session 3 years ago in Chicago, and ever since then it was just like, oh, let's do it. So I just want to say what's up to Jethro as well. My word is momentum, okay? Now, when I say momentum, it's really how you look at it, right? Because so I do a lot of equity work. So I'm all about social justice. I'm all about diversity, equity, and inclusion. So for me, momentum means ever since, I would say there's a series of events that occur, right? So we had COVID-19 that just shut everything down. Then we're all at home, and then George Floyd gets murdered. And then we have a lot of book studies that come out. How to Be Anti-Racist was a book that came out. White Fragility was a book that came out. And so as we started to talk about what's happening around, a lot of folks were getting on board. But what happens a year later when the media coverage starts to change? And there's, well, I'm not gonna get too political, but there's laws that are getting passed to ban conversations to happen, right? And so with everything that's going on, with our new school year starting, the question that I have is momentum, or the word I have is momentum. What does that look like for you as we start our year? We have social emotional learning has always been a challenge for a lot of our families, but we have families and students that have kind of, I don't know about you, but this is the first time that I've ever experienced a pandemic, and I doubt anybody else has ever experienced a pandemic and tried to work, try to raise a family, try to take care of your basic needs. And we can't have to consider what that looks like for a lot of our students and their communities and their families. So when we think about, okay, school year is just starting, are we just going to hit them hard with a bunch of testing and say, well, our kids are behind and learning loss and all this stuff like that? If that's at the forefront, I would love for us to reconsider and think about, okay, what can we do to make sure that first they feel safe, they feel welcomed, they feel as if their teachers care beyond their academic strengths, and that they actually genuinely have their social well-being at the forefront. And I think those are some things that we have to consider these days. So again, momentum as we are continuing on, whatever that looks like for you, because I'm just going to assume your school year has started and you've been on fire. Okay, how do we keep that flame ignited? That's the question. Dan, did you want me to ask the question right now, or
that's brilliant. How do we keep the flame ignited? I think that's a fantastic question to talk about, Dr. Akins. And so Jesse, the side ruckus maker right now behind the scenes, making this launch party a success. He's gonna be putting you in breakouts for 6 minutes and discuss that question Dr. Akins just suggested, which is how do you sustain that momentum? And see you in about 6 minutes. When we come back, some book bundles to give away. All right.
And promote and get their great ideas out there, right? I have the correct Anthony Kim.
That is the right one.
Right, yeah. Hey, Tanya, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
All right. Well, welcome back, everybody, from your breakouts. I hope you really, really, really enjoyed that. Let me grab here who are our book winners. Like this, you guys, this is incredible. I am so excited for you. I don't know who won yet. We did a random Excel sheet.
Hey, Danny, is iPad Mini your mom?
Yeah, her name.
iPad Mini 2, your mom? Hey, mom.
Yeah, that's Mama Ruckus Maker. Was she in your group?
No, I just like trying to figure out who your mom was, and then that. Yeah.
She was in our group.
Mini too.
Jesse, if you could find her, I want to do this to her, highlight her, and then we could say I can tell her how much I love her. There she is. That's my mother. I love her so much. And if you're happy about causing a ruckus in the world, this is where it all started. So
Oh my
Mama,
goodness.
I love you, and thank you so much for joining us at the book launch party. It's really sweet that you showed up. All right, so the folks that won. All right, this would be number 1. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Is Maria here? Maria Gonzalez. Raise your hand if you are. No. Okay. Rosemary, I think I saw Rosemary, right? Yep, Rosemary is here. Rosemary, you won a book bundle. And Justin Mewborn, I know you from Georgia. Are you here right now? Okay, and then we'll do Philippe. Philippe is here. Oh my gosh. All right, so Philippe and Rosemary, you guys get the book bundles. We'll do another raffle on the other side. Let me introduce Anthony Kim. Anthony Kim is a Corwin Press best-selling author, and we have his book in the book bundle. His publications include New Team Habits, New School Rules, and Personalized Learning Playbook. He writes about leadership, team motivation, and improving the way we work. Anthony is also the founder of Education Elements, a consulting company with a mission to support education leaders to prepare their systems for the next generation of learners. Anthony is somebody I look up to quite a bit. I aspire to grow into the type of impact that he's having. Just a super amazing guy, and cannot wait to hear what he has to say. Anthony, over to you.
Thanks, Danny, for that kind introduction. And I actually made some slides but after hearing the momentum thing, I was like, darn, I'm like the pessimist in the group. So here we go. My word is bonking. And if you don't know what that is, I'm gonna tell you what it is. But if you run or you cycle, you experience bonking. And it comes up when, it comes up when basically what you try to do is like you run out of energy and you start cramping up and you start feeling these things like that you can't recover, and you need, even like just like eating or anything will make you just not sick, you know, because you just can't take anything in your body. It's this weird state that you get into, and it's something that you don't want to be in. And so I started looking up for this, how to avoid bonking. And one way is just, you have to pace yourself. We talked about it in our group a little bit, just pacing yourself. Also, you have to develop a plan, and you have to have benchmarks as to, so you know where you are on your stage, right? Because you have different stages of energy throughout the year, throughout the day, throughout your life. And so you go through different stages, and you got to know what those stages are. And the last thing I like the most is food and drinks are your solution. And I like to drink. So seriously, but like a lot of times you just feel this like pain and nausea, and you just can't drink, because if you drink stuff too fast, then you don't feel good either. And so that's what I came up with. And the question I have for y'all is, how do we get out of bonking in education? Because we all been hustling for like a year and a half, you know, nonstop, trying to do this and that, and in school, out of school, remote, in person, and it's constantly changing. And so it's really hard to do that all the time, and we're going to continue to do that for a bit longer. And so how do we avoid bonking in education is the question I have for you all.
Brilliant. So we'll be going back to breakout groups, discussion for 6 minutes. How can you avoid bonking? Very creative. Thank you for that story, Anthony. And when we come back, we'll give away some BLBS swag. So thanks again for that, and see you in about 6 minutes. Look at all these smiling faces. And who are the lucky winners? We're going to announce the lucky winners of some BLBS swag in just a second. But I want to bring Mama Ruckus Maker back. Let's, oh, there she is. I still love you. I still love you. I'm wondering, you didn't know I was going to do this, but it's okay. You know me. You know I'm unpredictable. 1 minute or less. Is a funny memory, an embarrassing story that's appropriate. Don't go college or past college or late high school, okay? A funny or embarrassing thing about me. Go ahead and share that. 1 minute or less. Keep it brief.
So none of the okay,
no, none of that. No.
Nothing involving
No.
alcohol. No. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, when you were little, you did not like noise.
Yeah.
No noise at all. We went to a White Sox game, and as you know, the scoreboard, every time there's a home run, the scoreboard goes off with fireworks. So Carolyn was a baby. She was an infant. She slept through it. The one game we went to, they must have had 10 home runs.
Yeah.
And every time there was a home run, I had to jump up, put my hands over your ears because you didn't like the noise.
I didn't like
But
the
it
noise.
was okay. You like the Sox, and that's okay.
That's right. That's right. Okay, that's a good story. Thank you, Mama Ruckus Maker. So brilliant. All right, 2 winners of BLBS swag. I was looking at breakout rooms to make sure the random raffle winners were here. So John Middleton, good luck. You did not bonk or boink or whatever that was. You win the BLBS swag. And David, I saw you. David, you're in my screen. So David, 2 California guys too. That doesn't seem fair, but that's how it works out sometimes. So good luck, guys. That's very cool. All right. So next speaker, let's see who is that. Oh, my buddy, Jethro Jones. Jethro, listen, this guy, we know Jethro. He's got the podcast, right? He's got the He's got the organization, the transformative principle. I love you, buddy. We've known each other. We're friends. I used to want to crush you and compete you and compete with you and defeat you. But we've collaborated and we've got a great friendship. Founder of Transformative Principle, author of School X, his book, Anthony's book, they're in the book bundle. In 2017, Jethro was honored with the NASSP Digital Principal of the Year Award. His passion is providing simple solutions to complex educational problems. And he just sent me a board game. What a sweet guy. He sent me a board game just the other week because I love board games. So Jethro, over to you.
So the real question is, are you going to give away a copy of that board game?
Maybe.
Okay, it's called Cover Your Kingdom. If you haven't played it, it's a lot of fun. So you definitely should. So I'm going to ask you to use the reactions on your screen in Zoom. There's that little button on the bottom. It's a little emoji, and you can put reactions up. If you have ever had a Fitbit or an Apple Watch or anything like that, and you've done a workout without it on, and you've said, "Oh, this didn't even count," give me a little reaction. Let's see what we got. I'm just looking here at the screens. We got a thumbs up. We got a gasp, hearts, got some laughing emojis, clapping. Okay, so everybody's pretty much been there. All right. So my word for us is, does it count? I know it's 3 words, but count just didn't make sense. So we're going to go with these 3 words. So when we think about our kids learning, for a long time, we've had these discussions about time is the constant and learning is the variable. And then we move to learning is the constant and time is the variable. Well, I think we need to take this conversation to the next level and say learning is the constant, but the location is the variable. How many things did our kids learn over the last year and a half that don't quote unquote count because it didn't happen in the school building? How many things do kids always learn that don't count because they didn't happen in the school building? And how do we set up a place where the things that they do outside of school actually count for school? Here's a very real example. In my middle school, we had kids who played competitive soccer, and we could not give them PE credit, even though credit doesn't even really matter in middle school. For playing soccer, they still had to take PE. So, and there was a situation where a student got injured at PE at school and therefore could not play on the competitive soccer team. In Alaska, it was also ice hockey that they were playing that competitively at that age. And these are real issues. So if it doesn't happen in the school, it doesn't count. Now, that's a lot of questions that I've asked. So let me narrow it down to just one. What would our education system look like if schools let go of the idea of having a monopoly on learning?
So if they let go of the idea of having a monopoly on learning, right? That's the breakout discussion. Ooh, juicy one there. Cool. We'll see you all. Jethro, thanks for the riff, and see you all in 6 minutes when we come back, raffling off the Remarkable Vision Formula online experience. Cool. Awesome. Hello, welcome back. Welcome back. We need
Danny, I was so close to your mom telling us some really good stuff. That was going to be I needed one more minute. One more minute. And
asking you shall receive. Mama Ruckus Maker, come back up, because this time I'm telling the story about you. So yeah. No, it's actually a story about me. It's actually a story about me. I remember, so this is high school, and this is, PG-13 for sure. Driving the first car, right? Ford LTD Crown Victoria.
Oh yeah.
Huge car. It felt like you were floating, across over the road. It was really wonderful. And anyways, my mom didn't know this. I was going to a movie, right? I think it was Adam Sandler and Jack Nicholson. I could be wrong. The title of the movie, I like comedies, right? It's called Anger Management, right? So you get the context. In my car, floating, just cruising, going to a movie, super happy. So I call my mom. Was there mobile phones back then or?
No.
Well, somehow I had the first mobile phone, which was amazing before
Oh,
they
the
even
big one.
invented.
Yep.
Yeah, and I called my mom, but I do remember calling her prior to getting to the movie. I said, Mom, I'm going to anger management, right? Subtext for me, it's a movie. And my mom goes, that's amazing. I'm so proud of you, honey. And I'm like, and I blew up. Ma, I'm talking about a movie, right? So anyways, that's the story about you that I'm going to share. Oh man, those were the days. Okay, so we have two winners. I have something I've created called the Remarkable Vision Formula. 3 steps to a remarkable life, remarkable family, and remarkable school. And we're doing a live event in November. We actually have a few seats open still. So if you'd like to work on that with me and some really cool people, just let me know, send me an email, Daniel at Better Leaders, Better Schools, and we can talk about how to get there. But I'm also building an online course so people can go through it asynchronously and then, do some group coaching calls. So anyways, this is free for these 2 winners. I know both of these knuckleheads and I love them a lot. Clayton Reedy. Clayton is the first ruckus maker to ever reach out to me after the podcast launched. He's from Australia and he's now a dear friend. So Clayton won one. And Jason Dropic, you are another winner. I might take that away though, because I heard you were trying to get the dirt out of my mom, and that is a no-no. So not good at all. So anyways, now let's talk our last speaker. And I think it was Gawin Manja. I'm messing it up. I don't have my note card in front of me, but you know what I'm trying to say. All right, enough about me. Let's talk Andy Jacks. Dr. Andy Jacks. Dr. Andy Jacks is the proud principal of Ashland Elementary School in Manassas, Virginia, and is soon moving to principal of the Knoxville School, a K-8 school nearby. He has won more awards than I can read, and currently is a senior fellow for the NAESP Centers for Advancing Leadership. Andy is currently working on a new book, which I'll put in the book bundle, Discipline Win, and it's going to be available, I think, Monday. Is that right? Whoa, how about that? So that is super cool. Andy and I have struck up a really nice friendship. We get into trouble together. And I think our biggest enemy would be revolving doors. I don't know if you'd agree. But anyways, Dr. Jacks, excited for you to be here and passing the mic to you.
Yeah, thanks, Danny. Love you, man. And love your work too, just both ends of it. So my word is leader-tunity. And I think I made up this word. I don't know if it's in the dictionary, but I think I made it up. If not, please give me credits. Give me a citation somewhere. Twitter, does that count if I put on Twitter as a citation? You can reference me. Leader-tunity. It's the leadership opportunity. When I work with teachers, I'm going through tough things. I've been a principal a long time. And when I work through tough situations, I always try to take that moment and take that situation as a learning lesson for all of us involved. Instead of just trying to solve that problem and move on, we can learn and grow and adapt and get better. And when I think about what's going on right now, I think we have an enormous leadership opportunity or leader-tunity through this whole situation. What I worry about is that things just snap back to whatever the normal or the traditional thing was. You see it happening. As much as we learn some cool new situations, are we going to be able to adapt and evolve and change to those things? And that's not just COVID. We talk about this whole pandemic right now, but my second week on the job was 9/11. I was a teacher. I was a 5th grade teacher just outside Washington, D.C. I live in Northern Virginia. A lot of our families, are at the Pentagon, and that was my second week of teaching ever. A year or so later, we had the snipers that were dealing with the sniper issue in Washington, D.C., and we had that crisis. Years later, we have a recession. I feel like we are going to be in a constant state of crises, and we can either sort of just, go back and forth. Oh no, we have this, and how are we going to problem? Or every single time we can sort of lean in, learn to, I hate to say enjoy the crisis, but learn to really enjoy the moment of learning through a crisis, and then ultimately trying to get better for it, and then be different because of it. and that's an opportunity, a leader opportunity that I hope we can do. And so that's sort of my question with this as well, because that leader opportunity that we all have in our jobs and in our schools and our lives could be small. It could be one child in one situation that we can embrace and look for ways that we can help that child be successful. And it may be something that's monster issue in the school, but if we learn to lean in and enjoy it, I believe that not only will we be happier, we'll be better off in the long run as well. And as leaders, I think that's something that we have to model, and the fancy word for it's like agency and self-efficacy. But it really comes down to, is our heart in the right place? And ultimately, are we tough enough to deal with it? And when we are, all of you are, we are definitely tough enough to deal with these issues. So my question for all of you is, how can education at large prepare for the inevitable constant state of crisis and take advantage of these leader opportunities every time instead of falling apart? How do we take advantage of these crises and then learn from them and be different and be better, so that 20 years from now, we will have even better educational system than we had before these crises?
So essentially, how do we learn from these crises, these challenges, and become better, find the opportunity? Is that right?
No, leader opportunities.
Sorry.
Because we are all leaders.
Yeah.
Everyone's watching, and everything we do, the kids are watching. And that's something I talk about in schools all the time. These kids are watching every single thing you do, how you interact with each other, how you walk through the day. And it's so much pressure, but it's so much opportunity as well. So yeah, so leader opportunity.
I thought you were going to the second riff. I'm gonna have to shut you down or something.
Oh no, you can't give me the mic. You know that, Danny.
Awesome. Okay. So the leader opportunity in crises and challenges. Brilliant, Dr. Jax. Thank you for that. And see you all in 6 minutes. When you come back, we're giving away Mastermind memberships, which is crazy. I'll never do this again, but we'll do it tonight. What's the truth? Nobody knows. It's all made up. All right, Mama Ruckus Maker, I'm gonna let you off the hook this time.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, Mama.
Do I win anything?
No, you won me. You won me. You won it all, actually. So let's be honest.
I think she's looking for a little more, Danny.
Yeah.
Ouch. Oh, it hurts.
I'll see you this weekend.
Yes, absolutely. All right, Mastermind membership, free month. Never doing this again. Never have done it before. And our two winners, thrilling, because Wanda, I had a conversation with you today, and that's amazing how the universe coincides like that. And then Antonio, who's here, local to me, like what in the world? So Antonio, you won a free month in the Mastermind as well, and we're very excited for you. Cool. All right, so we're wrapping up. A lot of thanks are due. Thank you, first of all, everybody who showed up, right? Ruckus Makers, like you all are the reason that BLBS exists. I live to serve you, to help you level up. My just cause to connect, grow, and mentor every school leader who wants to level up. And so just thank you for your engagement, the kind notes you send my way when you're talking about how you've implemented ideas. Like I live for that. So thank you. Thanks to Jesse, Ruckus Maker, who's been running behind the scenes to really make this a great experience for everybody. It would be a mess if it was just me, and I couldn't do it without you. So thank you, buddy. Thanks to the expert panel too, right? So Dr. Akins, Anthony Kim, Jethro Jones, Dr. Jax, like, wow, what powerful stories about the future of education and those provocative questions that we all discussed in breakouts. And then the last thanks is to Corwin and ASA, who are co-publishing this book. So we're super thrilled that it's there. We put the link a couple times in the chat if you haven't picked one up. I put a new page up on the website. You could get regular books, signed books. There's a whole bunch of bonuses. So you definitely want to check that out. We're also doing a Mastermind book club. So Jesse, if you don't mind grabbing that link, essentially over 10 weeks, we'll be reading the book along together. And if you'd like to just hop into a really fun experience, digging into the content, having high-level discussion about the content in the book, that's a totally free experience. So would love to serve you there. And I just want to highlight too, Tanya, my editors here from Corwin. So thank you so much for all your support and helping me be a success. As we wrap up and end on time, and we're totally going to do that, in the chat, if you don't mind just putting in the chat, what was the number one insight from tonight, right? That's something I like to do a lot in these experiences I create. But was it something you heard in the riff? Was it something that Mama Ruckus Maker shared? Something you heard in the breakout discussion? I love that you're off mute and laughing, which is wonderful. But put that number one insight into the chat. Leader Tunities by David. It's trademarked, by the way. So you gotta put a trademark sign there. This time matters. Thanks, John. Nick Hoover, Leader Tunity. Okay. Jason Dropic, relationships always. Thank you. This is some good stuff. Motivating to see so many leaders eager to grow. Thanks, Michelle. Andy, giving kids credit for things they learn outside of school. That was good. Rosemary, the energy from the large group, Leader Tunity. Thanks, Bill. Great program. Antonio, being positive. Bill, avoiding the bonking. Awesome. Cool. Well, we'll wrap up. Just a bit. Clayton, I see the chat, so I have that. I got you covered. We'll figure it out. I'll get it to you. So we're good. Anybody that might be here internationally, the book releases a week from tomorrow, October 8th in the US and Canada. From what I understand, it then goes international in like 8 weeks. So that's probably just a distribution, publishing thing out of our control. And that's just kind of how it rolls, I guess. So anyways, thank you. Love you all. If you need anything, reach out. Have a great night and go make a ruckus. Bye for now.